Hey there, everybody. Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with my shooting impressions of the Derya Arms DY9. Now, this is part 2 of a little mini series covering the DY9 here. And keep in mind the fact as we get this entire thing started, this is what's called the Massafornia edition. So if you're somebody who lives in a restricted state and would like to get your hands on a Derya DY9, they have gone through all of the necessary steps to ensure that they have a 50-state compliant handgun, and in many cases, compatible with the registries, compatible with all of the little sort of odds and ends that need to be added to handguns in order to make them compliant. So Derya taking all the necessary steps to make that happen. But today it's all about the shooting impressions, so we're going to turn the corner to the range, get through the shooting impressions, and then we'll come back to the studio and I'll give you my final thoughts. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Derya who did provide this for review. Now, as we get into the shooting impressions, for this evaluation, I am using Blazer 115 grain full metal jacket ammo, copper jacketed, brass cased, and you'll notice that I do have the proprietary magazines, 10 round magazines. They load fairly easy to capacity, feed without resistance, and the base plates are designed to match the integrated mag flare on the grip. As we get into the first group here at 7 yards, you'll see that my shots land in approximately a 2-inch cluster on 1-inch dots. This establishes the initial accuracy baseline while assessing the sight picture and the trigger characteristics. So these here are 1-inch dots. So number 1, looking at roughly 2-inch overall, 2x2, not too bad. For group 2 here, still at 7 yards, I'm trying to increase my speed just a little bit. The grouping opens up as expected with added speed. The recoil here on the DY9, moderately snappy. Trying to pick up the speed just a little bit so I'm not going like crazy slow, which does open up the grouping just a bit. The other thing for me is practicing pushing down has a little bit of that gas pedal, so to speak. Practice driving the front end down. It's going to come with time. But so far, feeling good. A little bit snappy, but not bad at all. Number 2 spread out just a little bit. Just really lost one of them. And you can see fairly well grouped. Now for the third group, I'm attempting to shoot more with 2 eyes open. Again at 7 yards. This is not working the best for me, but the fiber-optic sights with the green rear and the red front provide clear contrast and visibility, and especially here in overcast conditions. Attempting to shoot 2 eyes, less kind of squinting, definitely opening up that group. Now, just a touch slick on that gas pedal. I wish there was a little more grip there. I am looking to kind of really leverage that and push down for the follow-up shots. But again, practice will prevail. Up and right just a bit, 2, 4, 6, and then few down lower, but you can see again spread pretty well, maybe just a little right, but certainly some to the left as well. For my fourth group, still at 7 yards, I am showing some improved consistency. For the first 40 rounds, my accuracy remains fairly stable, with group sizes averaging around 3 inches. I'm definitely better with 1 eye. But that felt good. That was not bad at all. Nice follow-up, and for the first 40 shots at 7 yards, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Number 4, nice little group here. You can see actually doubled up in a lot of cases, and just a couple that spread a little bit wider, but that is not too bad, all things considered. I'm looking at maybe a 3x3 square on average. For group 5, pushing out to 10 yards. Trying to maintain a reasonable level of control. The sight clarity remains strong due to the high contrast fiber optic sights. Now the sight picture remains clear, but my personal visual preference still does require squinting for precise accuracy at this distance. Smooth, easy, controlled. I just wish I could get the second eye open. And for me, that's the difference between shooting dot and iron sights. Granted, these do have very nice, bright, these are the fiber-optic sights, green on the rear, red on the front. Very nice and bright. Great differentiation out here, even in an overcast day. Excellent differentiation between the rear and the front sights. So that's fantastic. But again, just me and my skill set needing to squint down a little bit, get that sight picture dialed on all the way down onto my target at 10 yards. Number 5, I'm definitely happy with this. Well clustered, slightly up and to the left on the average. But all in all, that's a nice group there. So you can see there maybe about 2.5, 3 inches by 3 inches square. Now still here at 10 yards, I do find that for the most part, the grip texture is sufficient. This coming with the medium backstrap, but for my size hands, it might not be exactly optimal. Not bad. Grouping's not as tight as I would like, but I mean, I'm getting used to this. I probably need to change the backstrap. So this is the medium backstrap that this comes factory. You do have a number of different sizes. I will experiment with that over time, see how it feels. A little bit slick in the grip, not quite as grippy as with other firearms, but at the same time still manageable. Number 6, looking good. Obviously I was concentrated a little up and to the right, but generally speaking, finding everything on paper nicely here. Pretty even overall, and roughly a 3x3 pattern. So now here, group 7, you might see that my pattern does open up slightly, but it remains fairly well centered. A few impacts drifting a little bit outward under slower and deliberate fire, but all things considered, pretty good. Okay, not terrible again. A little looser than I'd like on a couple of shots, but definitely manageable. Number 7, pretty even overall, generally grouping here. One of them I pulled up and to the right. A couple of them I lost just a little bit wide, but overall, I'm definitely happy with that. Now, all in all, getting through group 8, the trigger feeling absolutely fantastic. Not too much in the way of creep once I hit the wall. A nice crisp break and a reasonable reset. Number 8 here, opening up just a little bit. 5 of my shots inside, 5 of them just outside the ring. Obviously, one of them I pulled a little bit low, but that's not too bad. So that's a 3x3. That's a 3-inch diameter circle there. Now to finish things up, I did want to increase my speed as much as possible, so trying to keep it as controlled as I can, but picking up the pace nonetheless. Number 9, a little bit wild. I mean, generally speaking, that's not bad. So again, 3-inch diameter circle, landing 4 of my shots, 1 of them just off, and then pushing a couple outside. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not sure where the 10th is, if that's doubled up there or if I lost it low off the paper. And I do have to say that the follow-up shot's pretty good. I'm able to shoot this fairly flat, reasonably comfortable in the hands overall, and an excellent shooting experience for my first time out here. Sloppy at best, but I got him. And number 10, worst of the day, but also going the fastest. Now, you can see these are grouped nicely. And then I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So obviously pulling some to the left, but these ones here, not too bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them actually at the end of it all are within that 3x3 diameter, but obviously losing some to the left. So all in all, the DY9, pretty good. Slide lock back every time. Not bad. Let's bring it back to the studio, and I'll wrap this up with my final thoughts. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the DY9 from Derya Arms. All in all, very, very good. Now, you heard me say the entire time, pretty good, feels good in the hand. I do need to I would say at this point, make this more custom to my grip. This does come with the medium-sized back straps, and I think for me, I just like to beef this out a little bit and get just a little bit more grip through the middle. But all in all, I was very pleased in how this performed. Now, a few major impressions. First off, I was able to keep this fairly flat. I mean, not perfect, but I'm still really, at the end of the day, a novice. I mean, I've been shooting for a couple of years, but at this point, I mean, I'm more or less self-taught. I don't have a ton of instruction time. So am I a novice? Pretty much, yes. And so that gas pedal effect there working pretty well. Now, I did notice that with my grip, I tended to leave my thumb maybe up more versus driving it forward and just getting really forward and pressing down on that quasi gas pedal section. I think that would have made a big difference and really helped me with my follow-up shots. But I also did pretty well. I feel like I shot this all in all pretty darn well. It felt good. It was comfortable, not too snappy, and I really liked the trigger. I was impressed at how just crisp that trigger actually is. It was very predictable, nice, loud, and tactile and audible reset. I felt like it was just something that I could anticipate and anticipate well. And as I mentioned, I am going to do some additional videos with this. So, I'm going to start mounting the optics. I'm going to start getting into more weapon lights. And I also have what's called the island slide, which has the ported barrel and then the slotted slide. And I think that's going to be really cool. So following up, I mean, much more to come with this DY9. But for me to get started, I definitely enjoyed it. I found the magazines to work well. I found the handgun to be just flawless so far. No malfunctions. Only 100 shots, so time will tell. But I do anticipate putting a number of rounds through this, certainly before I even clean it. So I have a few more videos of, running pretty much. I'll do typically around 100 rounds per session. And that's about perfect for the length of the video, for the impressions of the video, and to keep things moving. So all in all, again, to Derya, thank you so much for providing this for review. For the rest of you, much more to come with this DY9. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for following along. Take care now. I'll see you soon.